Let's talk about psychological operations, my friends. We got this story from the Financial Times. Psy-ops are a crucial weapon in the war against disinformation.
What?
Well, this is clearly fake news because mass formation psychosis isn't real.
Oh, yeah.
It's not real. AP told me so. Reuters said it's not real. For those that watch Joe Rogan's podcast, you need not hear me explain this, but for those that missed it, Dr. Robert Malone brought up how in, the early 1900s or, 30s, people were trying to understand how it is that these authoritarian regimes took power, namely Nazi Germany. And he mentioned something called mass formation psychosis, where people were all basically fixated on something. They were hypnotized. All of a sudden, the media comes out claiming it's not true. Google changes the search results, so you're not finding it. And now it's funny because you had many stories over the past several years from mainstream and corporate publications saying that Trump was hypnotizing people. But when
even from the AP said that.
Even from the AP.
Yep.
And so now you have from the Financial Times, psychological operations are a crucial weapon in the war against disinformation. But far be it from from us to claim that there's manipulation and hypnosis and propaganda. You know what the craziest thing to me is? When I would explain to people, there's a field of hacking, hacker culture called social engineering. The overwhelming majority of hacking that you hear in the news is actually just social engineering. Someone's not typing away code and there's smiling, laughing faces appearing on the screen, eating the numbers, like ridiculous graphics. Hacking is almost always some guy picking up a phone, calling the bank and being like, "Hi, I'm John, I'm a branch manager. It's at bank number 3942. I'm looking for your IRS, verification number," and just tricking people. That's what hacking tends to be. When I try to explain to people this, they always just say, "Oh, that would never work on me." Never work. If it wouldn't, then why does it exist? If you can't be manipulated, why does Coke spend so much money buying advertisements? So when they come out and say mass formation psychosis, of course it's a real thing. Of course people are trying to manipulate you every day. Now the Financial Times is advocating for psychological operations over COVID misinformation, which brings me to what we have to deal with, the censorship, which is a prime component of this. Making sure people can't share ideas. Sometimes the ideas are so dangerous, they'll shut off a live stream midstream. They'll ban a channel outright with no strikes because the information can't be allowed.
Well, sometimes it's not even that they're dangerous. It's just that they're misinterpreted, which is a problem. That there's a human that's capable of misinterpreting a message and then banning it.
But this is different. This is Army psychological operations, literally using the power of information, denying information, lying about information, making up information in order to have political games. This is psychological warfare against the American people that the Financial Times is calling to be instituted here in the United States. And they use Sweden as the perfect example because in Sweden, they have the Swedish Psychological Defense Agency. That couldn't be more of an Orwellian name than it could be. But they are out there not only to monitor what's happening online, not just the political discussions, but they also are there to launch counterattacks against their believed falsehoods about vaccines, immigration, and other very important issues. So they also talked about in this article how they use this psychological operation to deal with political tensions in Europe. So this is an important distinction to understand here. Financial Times is saying Sweden's doing this, we need to do this here. We already do this here in the United States. A lot of this is classified, and I think a lot of this is very evident when you see the same kind of regurgitated talking points, the same kind of narrative, and anything questioning getting outright censored and banned. There's also, of course, people planting fake stories and fake disinformation in order to throw people off the original trail. There's a lot of things happening here. And I think once you institute psychological tricks by the U.S. Army to push an agenda that only clearly benefit the billionaire class. The billionaires are making more money than ever. This is something that is absolutely concerning. This is something that is absolutely worrying. And this is something that we need to realize is happening here in the United States on a huge level already.